Hi, this is Todd. Today, I want to talk to you about how to help prevent the damage caused by individuals that want to shoot people. Gun control laws have been a hotly debated topic in the United States for decades, with proponents arguing that stricter regulations are necessary to prevent tragic events like the recent shooting in Georgia yesterday. Opponents of more gun control legislation believe that such measures infringe on individual rights without effectively addressing the root causes of gun violence. In this video, we will explore the complexities of gun control laws, their effectiveness in preventing such incidents, and alternative solutions to address this pressing issue. What is the history of gun control laws? Gun control laws in the United States have a complicated history. The Second Amendment of the Constitution, which protects the right of individuals to bear arms, has been the subject of much debate and interpretation. Over the years, various gun control measures have been implemented at the federal, state, and local levels in an effort to curb gun violence and prevent mass shootings. One of the most significant pieces of federal gun control legislation is the Gun Control Act of 1968, which regulates the firearms industry and prohibits certain individuals, such as convicted felons and the mentally ill, from owning guns. In 1994, the Violent Crime Control and Law Enforcement Act included a provision known as the Federal Assault Weapons Ban, which prohibited the manufacture and sale of certain semi-automatic firearms. However, the ban expired in 2004 and has not been reinstated. In recent years, there have been calls for stronger gun control laws in response to a series of high-profile mass shootings, including yesterday's tragedy in Georgia. Advocates argue that measures such as universal background checks, limits on magazine capacity, and restrictions on the sale of assault weapons are necessary to prevent such events from occurring in the future. The effectiveness of gun control laws in preventing gun violence is a subject of much debate. Proponents of stricter regulations point to countries like Japan and Australia, which have significantly lower rates of gun violence due to their strict gun control laws. According to a study by the Journal of Trauma and Acute Care Surgery, the implementation of stricter gun control measures in Australia led to a significant decrease in gun-related homicides and suicides. However, opponents argue that stricter gun control laws do not necessarily lead to a reduction in gun violence. They point to cities like Chicago, which has some of the strictest gun control laws in the country but still experiences high rates of gun violence. Critics argue that criminals will always find ways to obtain guns illegally, regardless of the laws in place. There are several key arguments against stricter gun control measures. One of the most common arguments is that such regulations infringe on the Second Amendment rights of law-abiding citizens. Gun rights advocates believe that individuals have the right to own firearms for self-defense and other lawful purposes, and that stricter gun control laws would only punish responsible gun owners without addressing the root causes of gun violence. Another argument against stricter gun control measures is that they would not prevent determined criminals from obtaining guns through illegal means. Proponents of this view argue that gun control laws primarily affect law-abiding citizens, who would be disarmed and unable to defend themselves against armed criminals. Additionally, opponents of stricter gun control laws argue that mental health issues, rather than access to guns, are the primary driver of mass shootings and other acts of violence. They believe that improving mental health services and addressing the underlying causes of violence would be more effective in preventing such incidents. So what are some alternative solutions to reducing these events in the future? While stricter gun control laws are often proposed as the solution to reducing gun violence, they don't prevent guns from being purchased or stolen by criminals or people intent on committing shootings. Some other alternatives that need to be considered include: first, improved mental health services. Investing in mental health resources and early intervention programs could help identify individuals at risk of committing acts of violence and provide them with the support they need. Second, enhanced background checks could help. Implementing more comprehensive and effective background checks for gun purchases could prevent individuals with a history of violence or mental illness from obtaining firearms. This could include the development of a more comprehensive national database to prevent guns from being bought by individuals with potential mental disorders. Third, providing increased funding for law enforcement. Providing law enforcement agencies with the resources they need to investigate and prevent gun crimes could help keep guns out of the hands of criminals or people intent in committing gun-related violence. Fourth, establishing gun violence prevention programs. Implementing community-based programs focused on preventing gun violence, such as conflict resolution training and youth outreach initiatives, could help reduce the incidence of shootings. Fifth, a more comprehensive gun safety education. Promoting responsible gun ownership through education and training programs could help prevent accidental shootings and misuse of firearms. Sixth, developing some technology solutions. Implementing new technologies, such as smart guns that can only be fired by authorized users, could help prevent unauthorized access to firearms. Seventh, helping to reduce poverty and inequality. Addressing the root causes of violence, such as poverty and inequality, could help reduce the prevalence of gun violence in communities where this is a problem. Eighth, strengthening penalties for gun-related crimes. Enforcing tougher penalties for individuals who commit gun crimes could serve as a deterrent to future offenders. Enforcing laws and regulations already on the books would also help prevent crimes that currently go unpunished in several of our cities. Ninth, partnering with the gun industry. Working with manufacturers and retailers to implement voluntary measures, such as safer gun designs and responsible sales practices, could help prevent guns from falling into the wrong hands and also making it more difficult for younger people who are committing these violent gun-related crimes. 10th, establishing and building community partnerships would also help reduce the number of these incidents. Collaborating with community organizations, faith-based groups, and other stakeholders to address the underlying factors contributing to gun violence could help create safer and more resilient communities. What are some examples of programs that have been implemented that seem to work? First, is the Sandy Hook Promise Program. Founded in response to the Sandy Elementary School shooting in 2012, this non-profit organization aims to prevent gun violence through school-based programs such as Say and Start with Hello. These programs educate students and adults on the warning signs of potential violence and promote a culture of caring and kindness. According to a study by the University of Michigan, that implemented Sandy Hook Promise programs saw a 79% reduction in school threats and a 70% reduction in bullying incidents. Second, is the Safe School Initiative. Developed by the Secret Service and the Department of Education, this program aims to prevent school shootings by improving school safety and crisis response protocols. Case studies have shown that schools that participate in the Safe School Initiative have seen a decrease in violent incidents and an increase in student and staff safety. Testimonials from school administrators attest to the effectiveness of the program in creating a positive and secure learning environment. Third, is the Ceasefire Program. This community-based initiative targets gun violence in urban areas by engaging with individuals at risk of involvement in gun-related activities. The program offers support, mentorship, and resources to help participants break the cycle of violence. Data from the National Institute of Justice has shown that cities with ceasefire programs have experienced a significant reduction in gun violence rates. A program that has been used in the past which can create a dangerous situation is the use of a so-called gun-free zone. Although this sounds great on the surface, there are a number of reasons that this creates a potential invitation to shooters. What does a potential shooter fear the most? He or she fears that the school, business or church has people in their facility that have guns. If there are no guns in the facility, the shooter knows that they have a number of minutes before the police can respond. It is during this time that the shooter does the most damage. If the shooter knows that someone on the premise may have a gun and can take them down or arrest them, they will think twice about attacking a school, business or church. Schools, businesses and churches should attempt to employ people who have gun training that are charged with the responsibility to take action should an incident like this occur. Individuals with this responsibility can react long before the police arrive. They can, at least, minimize the damage done by a shooter. Gun-free zones are just invitations for individuals who want to cause harm. The recent shooting in Georgia is an example of a school resource officer who was able to minimize the damage caused by a shooter. Waiting for the police to arrive only gives the shooter more time to inflict damage. Key strategies and approaches used in these successful programs include early intervention, education, community engagement, and collaboration between different stakeholders. These programs prioritize prevention, intervention, and support, rather than solely focusing on punitive measures. Challenges and limitations include funding constraints, resistance from stakeholders, and the need for ongoing evaluation and adaptation of strategies. Recommendations for implementing similar initiatives in other settings include fostering partnerships with local organizations, engaging with communities to understand their specific needs and concerns, and incorporating a comprehensive approach that addresses both the root causes and consequences of gun violence. Proactive measures, such as implementing mental health resources, conflict resolution programs, and safety protocols, are crucial in preventing gun-related violence in schools and businesses. By adopting a multifaceted approach and investing in prevention strategies, communities can create a safer and more inclusive environment for all. In conclusion, the issue of gun control laws and their effectiveness in preventing tragic events like the shooting in Georgia on September 4, 2024, is complex and multifaceted. While stricter regulations are often proposed as the solution to reducing gun violence, it is clear that there are no easy answers to this pressing issue. By exploring the history and impact of gun control policies, analyzing data and statistics related to gun violence, and considering alternative solutions, we can begin to have a more informed and nuanced conversation about how best to prevent such tragedies from occurring in the future. I hope this gives you a better idea of some ideas as to some alternatives to reducing gun violence. To study more about other events that are occurring today, watch some of our other videos. Nehemiah Reset's mission is to assist Christians in developing a biblical worldview as it pertains to relevant cultural and biblical issues. We seek to inform Christ's followers, equip them, and mobilize them into action to vote for their biblical values and to actively engage the culture. We are also committed to help Christians and non-believers develop a better biblical view. Nehemiah Reset produces videos and ebooks to assist members of the church in developing a biblical worldview when it comes to cultural issues. We produce videos on key topics like public school indoctrination, the woke agenda, sex education, equity and inclusion, climate change, immigration, religious freedom, and much, much more. To learn more about Nehemiah Reset or to watch some of our videos about the culture and to build your biblical worldview, go to our website at nehemiahreset.org or our rumble.com channel. Thanks for watching and have a great day.
Thank you for watching this video from Nehemiah Reset. We hope you found it informative and helpful. Our mission is to assist Christians in developing a biblical worldview as it pertains to relevant cultural issues. We seek to inform Christ's followers, equip them, and mobilize them into action to vote for their biblical values and to actively engage the culture. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe to our Rumble, YouTube and Facebook channels. You can also visit our website at nehemiahreset.org to learn more about our vision, our resources, and our upcoming events. Thank you for your support and God bless you.